Casper, good morning to you. You estimate that there are 1,000 other Aussies in your position in India. Are there any plans to get you all back to home soil?
Yeah, so there's 1,000 that we've made contact with, but what we've heard is there's closer to 7,000 here. Really, the government hasn't really helped us at all get home, so we've sort of tried to take matters into our own hands and organise charter flights ourselves, which is a pretty big ask, but it seems to be the only way to get anything done at the moment.
Well, I mean, Casper, I know that, you've paid for 3 flights that have all been cancelled. You haven't received refunds for those yet. But you're in a country that is now in total lockdown. Supermarkets and pharmacies are closed. Can you give us an idea of what it's like on the ground? Because from here we're hearing that there's lots of violence and a lot of violence against Westerners. Yeah,
so thankfully we haven't experienced any firsthand, but that's because we're locked up in a hotel. We've been told not to go onto the streets for that exact reason. The police do enforce the lockdown very strictly with big sticks, to be honest. And yeah, there's a growing trend of animosity against Westerners because they look at Westerners and foreigners in general as being the ones that brought the virus into their country.
This sort of punishment that we're seeing here is quite common across India. Having been there a couple of times, they have their own energy, they have their own way of dealing with things. Are they on top of this disaster at all?
You can't argue that it's not effective, but look, the official numbers, we look at 5,000 thereabouts, but really when you look at the testing numbers, there's no way they can be accurate. So they're doing the right thing, I guess, by trying to keep everyone indoors and keep it under control. But I think it's probably out of the bag now. It's probably a little bit too little, too late, really.
The country's in lockdown till April 15th. You've got another week, and there's no word then that they will actually relax those restrictions. Are you confident of getting home anytime soon?
Yeah, it's almost a certainty that those restrictions will be extended. For how long, we don't know. So really, we have no idea about getting home. As I said, we're looking into the possibility of private charter flights, but that's pretty hard to do as a civilian. So we know of 12 other countries that have done evacuation flights in the last 2 weeks. Germany alone's done 12 flights, but no word for the Australians over here at the moment.
Yeah, well, look, we're thinking of you and we'll stay in contact and hopefully we can get you home soon. Thanks for joining us this morning. We're going to go now to journalist Hermione Kitson and her husband Francesco, who are living in Pescara in Italy. And guys, I remember we spoke to you on day one of your lockdown in Italy. We just think about what's happened in that time. It's been incredibly rough. How are you guys?
Well, we're surviving.
It seems to be the line that we both use, that we're surviving. Look, we're getting by. It's been a month now, so it's quite a long time to be in lockdown. But I have to say, it's kind of become a way of life here. And now finally, after 4 weeks, the numbers are becoming more positive. The rate of infection is finally slowing down. The death toll is still high. In the last 24 hours, there were 600 deaths as a result of the coronavirus outbreak here. But that's in comparison to about 920, the peak we saw 2 weeks ago. So the figures are promising. And we're really hopeful that in the next few weeks we could move to the second phase of the lockdown, which would mean some restrictions will be lifted. So the entire lockdown wouldn't be lifted, but some measures could be eased a little bit. So I don't know, what do you think that would mean?
We'll start to reopen some companies. Just today they opened a big company in the north. So the thing, they wanted to make Italy start again, and that will happen soon, hopefully with the new figures. So slowly, of course, but we will start again.
It's really difficult, and it's affected them very badly and had catastrophic impacts on the elderly. Italy, hasn't it? Just in terms of moving forward and things slowly starting to open up, there's also the risk of secondary hits with this thing. That must be present in everyone's mind as well.
It is. Look, everyone's being cautiously optimistic at this moment, just because we're finally seeing some kind of figure that is a little bit more positive than what we've seen in the last month, because every single day people here are waiting to see some kind of sign that the lockdown is working. Because what else can people do? Everybody is stuck inside. No activity outside is allowed whatsoever. So the measures are quite strict, so are the penalties, and so we're really have been waiting to see some kind of positive impact in terms of the figures every day. So we're not even thinking yet about the second hit. We're hoping just to get through this first period to try and get the numbers to stabilise, and then hopefully we can try and start to live in a more normal way, just going outside, being able to go for a walk, yes, with a mask and with gloves, but at least leaving the house would be just one big step in the right direction.
Well, we hope that for you too, guys. I mean, I think Italy's been a cautionary tale for all of us. So stay safe and hopefully better times ahead.
Thank you.
Thanks also to Casper there in India. We hope you get home soon.
Tough in India, isn't it? I mean, how do you control what that huge population does